Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's going to be another call-in show. We already got somebody in the back. I'll be going out to their call in just a minute, but I want to get through the Minnesota murder of a woman by an ICE agent on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. At least so we're told. I think anytime you should hear anything in the media, you should say, so we're told, or reportedly, or allegedly. There's just something that happens too often in the media. There's a certain number that's put in front of these stories too many times. Case in point, when the George Floyd riot started in Minneapolis, they started on 33rd Street, and they compared it to the Rodney King beating, which happened on March 3rd, 3-3. And today, the ICE agent killed a woman, reportedly, on Portland Avenue between 33rd Street and 34th Street. And remember, the longest Black Lives Matter protest in the nation for George Floyd was in the 33rd state, Oregon, where Portland, Oregon is, where the protests have been going on for the entire Trump administration in front of the ICE building. So now we get an ICE killing in Minneapolis on Portland Avenue between 33rd and 34th. If you haven't seen the video, it begins right before the car starts to drive away from the ICE agents, and one of the agents puts his pistol in the window and fires off a few shots. I mean, did somebody actually get killed? Possibly. Or the whole thing is just meant to be put on the cameras and get everyone worked up. As Mayor Jacob Fry came out and used some expletives. Again, we're not really used to hearing that from politicians, except for in recent years. Notice how the bar is always being elevated. You turn on the news at nighttime. There's some cuss words they put on the news and whatnot. It didn't used to be this way. But all of this is meant to escalate people and create this greater rift and divide in society. And I'll play the footage here of the shooting if you haven't seen it in just a second. But I want to hit the more important point. You know, everyone wants to watch the actual news and hear all the crap. That's not what I like to do over here. This is about deprogramming, not being programmed. It's about being deprogrammed. I've talked about the same thing over and over and over with why there are so many shootings in the news on Wednesday and Saturday. If you pay attention week after week, these are the most common days for national news stories of shootings, Wednesday and Saturday, and it's because of this Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. Wednesday and Saturday literally equate with shooting. Doesn't mean every shooting happens on a Wednesday or Saturday, but disproportionately it is these 2 days. And there's one on Wednesday and Saturday almost every week if you pay attention. Some are a little bit more high profile than others, like the Charlie Kirk shooting was on a Wednesday. But you can see the gematria of Wednesday. If you're wondering how you get these numbers, it's very simple. It's based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards, and with numerology applied to each letter. So, for example, W, the first letter on Wednesday, is the 23rd letter using the alphabetic order. The numerology of 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5. So W would be 5. E, the fifth letter, would be 5. D, the fourth letter, would be 4. N, the 14th letter, would be 1 plus 4 is 5, and so on. Wednesday is 37 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. When you run it in reverse, W becomes the fourth letter. We're going from Z is 1 back to A is 26. Now we're going in reverse. W becomes, excuse me. Yeah, W does become the fourth letter. So E would be the 22nd letter. The numerology at 22 would be 2 plus 2 is 4. You just add it up in reverse. Wednesday's 44 in reverse. You can see that ICE agent equals 37 and 44, just like Wednesday. Shooting is the exact opposite, 44 and 37. Remember when George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis? It was 44-year-old Derek Chauvin. This is a deadly number, 44. Again, this book right here is the first book I ever wrote. There's a 100-page chapter in this book alone about mass shootings in 44. Again, it all started with going postal with the 44-year-old postal worker shooter. Keep in mind, Minneapolis is on the 44th parallel north. This comes on the back of the Nick Shirley video. Nick Shirley's birthday is April 4th, the anniversary of the MLK assassination, one of the most fateful assassinations in U.S. history, which led to rioting. The mayor who dropped the expletive, he's 44 years old right now. Mayor Jacob Fry, age 44. Look at the gematria of Portland, because, again, this shooting was on Portland Avenue, when, again, the ongoing ICE protests are in Portland. Portland, 37 and 44, just like Wednesday, just like Ice Agent, and almost the same as shooting. Again, Mr. Frey or Fry, however you say his name, 44 years old right now. What's interesting is he's a Jewish guy and his name's Jacob. In the Bible, Jacob becomes Israel. Israel equals 44. So does Zion. So does Netanyahu, for example. It's a big number over there with the militaristic nation that is Israel. Military also equals 44. Pretty much words connected to killing, they just commonly have a 44 gematria. Soldier equals 44. Infantry, trooper, officer, they're all 44 words. NATO was born on 4-4, not by accident. So don't forget not Derek Chauvin. What's his name? Pete Hegseth. When he was chosen to be the Secretary of Defense, he was 44 years old at the time, chosen on the Superior General's birthday. Arturo Sosa, the leader of the Jesuits. But yeah, that just, saying it happened on between 33rd and 34th Street. Again, if you guys want to watch it, in my post at my website, GematriaEffectNews, I have it clipped. If you just go to about 8:15 in the video, he starts talking about how the woman was driving between 33rd and 34th Avenue, 33rd Street and 34th Street on Portland Avenue when she was shot by the ICE agent. This is the same chief of police who gave us the Catholic school shooting, which happened right after the Weapons movie came out, if you remember that. If you missed the coverage on that, it was quite interesting because they said 2 dead and 17 injured, and it was right after Weapons released, where there's a dream of a man trying to find his child where he's worried that the child got shot by a mass shooter, and they put a big 217 on the screen with a weapon. And then again, it's just, if you missed my work on that, all this stuff is connected. But yeah, 33, right? Same thing over and over. Police equals 33, like Masonry, like federal, like secrecy, like order. That list goes on. Again, the highest degree of Freemasonry, the Scottish Rite, the 33rd, the Fraternal Order of Police, highly Masonic, the reference to Portland, which is in Oregon, the 33rd state. Again, the parallels to what happened with George Floyd, where the rioting began on 33rd Street. It's so redundant. It's painful. Remember this past summer, the NFL headquarters killer who shot the people on the 33rd floor in a 44-story building. That was 44 days before Charlie Kirk, who was killed on 44 date numerology, so we're told, and then loaded into an SUV and buried in an unmarked grave. And his wife's told a million lies since and made a whole bunch of money. And not to mention, Charlie Kirk would do the Masonic handshake with Trump, who is the apprentice, when that's the first degree of Freemasonry, the entered apprentice. But anyway, murder does equal 34. Remember, the Police did the song Murder by Numbers, where killing is as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. And then what's also interesting is the last time this police chief was out in front of the national media, it was the Catholic school shooting back in August. And that was August 27th. And it was a Wednesday as well. It was also a Wednesday. And notice that was 133 days ago. We just talked about this with Nick Shirley, the chosen pawn for the video that was synced up with the Republican Party's ambitions to create a greater political wedge in the American people. Again, going after Somalis fits in with the, the racial divide, the religious divide, mostly Islamic people. Right after they installed Mamdani. Remember, in Mamdani surprised the world with the New York primary on Freemasonry's birthday at age 33. But yeah, notice it's 133 days later. Minnesota equals 133, like government. This is a government killing, right? Nick Shirley, who's a pawn of the Trump administration, who's been brought to the table with Trump. And for this whole 2 years it's been going on, I've been saying, like, whose dad is Nick Shirley? I mean, how is this kid with a high school education who has a poor handle on the English language, who can't name you one Supreme Court justice, how's he being elevated on Fox News and getting sent down to the first American to go in the CCOP prison? Like, how is this happening? Why? A high school educated kid who wanted to be a jackass impersonator? I mean, how? But now supposedly he's the Somali fraud ouster. It's all a load of shit. And, if American people weren't so dumb, they'd catch on. But it's all perfect ritual, too, because this comes right on the back of the Nick Shirley video. Again, Nick Shirley with the 4-4 birthday. Nick Shirley, the little racist. from the Mormon religion, the religion that wears the magical underwear and thinks the closer to God you are, the whiter your skin is. And don't forget, he was the last person to be interviewed by Charlie Kirk before the shooting. Yeah, Nick Shirley is a racist for anyone who says he's not. I mean, go watch the clip of him in New York. Somebody come up and asked him point blank. They go, are you like Charlie Kirk? Do you not like black women as well? And what did Nick Shirley say back to the person who asked him that? I mean, it's such an easy question to defeat, right? But here's what Nick Shirley said. He goes, look at that black woman right over there. Like he didn't like her. It's just like, God. Oh, man. But somehow, some way, this is the kid they want to use. Okay. Yeah, and then just the Jacob Frey line today. I mean, it's just meant to pour fire on the situation. I guess a little fire and ice here, a little icy hot. But yeah, it's the same old. There's a lot more I want to talk about today with what's going on in the news and the rituals and Venezuela and the death of Ronald Reagan's adopted son, and further proof that again, both of these political parties are totally satanic, but one's definitely more satanic than the other, and that's the Republicans. And if you don't think that's true, it's because you're blind. I mean, literally, Trump is running on the highest degree of the Church of Satan mega, just like Ronald Reagan did. And again, they inverted the stars on the elephant to make them downwards pointing pentagrams, which is a satanic symbol. Well, we'll see just how satanic the sacrifice of Michael Reagan was here in a minute. But let me get the people in the back, and then we'll move on. Full of Vibes. What's up, Full of Vibes?
Oh my God, Zach, I'm a big fan of your work. I'm very new. I just found out about you maybe like a month or two ago. I haven't had time to sit down and, do all the coding. Right now, I do have a question. Maybe I have two. They say that there's no stupid question, so I'm going to ask. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to learn,
Go ahead.
Okay. One of my questions, I'm Hispanic, and I noticed that my name, I'm not sure if my name is correct in numerology when I put it in English. Is there a different way that I could find out what my name is since I'm Hispanic, or is it the same
Well,
thing?
I would just write down the Spanish alphabet and just number each letter, and then add up your name. It'd be that simple.
Okay. I think the only thing that adds it is the ñ. That's the only thing that's different. Okay, so that's the only thing. Another question. For the I know I've been following the D4 and Celeste, and I know that you haven't really done an update. Do you have anything that maybe in the future might come out when he might be? Is he getting away with this, or what do you think? What is your input on that?
Is who getting away with what?
The David with the Celeste case. I know you talked about that months ago, and I think that's the first time I got into Gematria, and I started looking into it more.
I remember that story. I'd have to go back and look at it. I haven't followed up since the news broke.
I tried to decode it and I got some dates, but I didn't get anything right because I'm very new, so I'm still working on it.
I'll go back and look at that story. It's back in the headlines right now.
Yeah, it has been here and there. I think they've only given us like maybe two things. They haven't really. He hasn't come out at all to talk for anything like that. I think that they were saying about him being indicted, but I don't trust any of these news anymore because they don't do anything. I don't trust. I started really not trusting the news because of everything that I've learned with you. So I'm like, oh my God, like, and I try to explain to people. My wife, she thinks I'm crazy, and I'm like, you can't. The blind, they're gonna stay blind, they're gonna stay asleep, and I given up on trying to wake people up.
Yeah, the quality to see through lies is rarer within women than it is men, and sadly, I mean, there are some women that see through it, but it's less common.
Well, I'm a woman, so I'm a very smart. I believe to be very intellectual and with a higher IQ than the other women that are around me. So
yeah, it's just we got some great women in this community, but I'm just saying statistically, it's less common for women to see through things.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you that. Yeah, well, I think that's my only questions. I'll be joining some other times whenever I get a chance. I listened to you all day at work today, and there was some great stuff and great people coming in. So I'm gonna be listening to you a lot more, and I'm gonna try to be learning and writing things down. And I really want to. I don't really watch sports too much, but I really want to make some money off of sports. So I'm looking forward to do that. to doing some decoding and get some, beat the
All right.
system.
It can definitely be done. All right.
Oh
Well, hey,
yeah.
welcome to the community.
Thank you very much, Zach, and best luck and blessings to you guys and
Yeah.
everybody in here in the chat. All right,
All right. Thank you. You have a good day.
all right. You too. Bye.
Take care. All right, we got a few more people in the back. I want to hit this Michael Reagan piece first, though. I did a video on this last night, just off the cuff on the phone without really doing anything. But again, I just want you guys to see this. They waited for January 6th to announce the news. And notice you had a dead GOP congressman also announced dead on the day. That we talked about that. The California rep, LaMalfa, Rep Baird from the Republican Party in bad shape in a hospital bed after a horrible car accident, also in the news on the same day. A lot of Republican tragedy here on January 6th. And keep in mind, it was the 5th anniversary. That 5 is associated with, well, a lot of things, really. The Church of Satan, but also, again, you need to think about this nation's capital, the 555-foot tall Washington Monument, the 5-sided Pentagon with a 5-acre court in the middle with 5 floors above ground. Anyway, they saved this news for January 6th. He died on January 4th, reportedly. And the Church of Satan is going to be big in this. Again, he's dead at 80. Reagan won election in 80. That was 14 years after the Church of Satan was established in 1966 in California, where Reagan was the governor. And again, this man dead on 1-4, looking a lot like 14 in the time of Trump, who also runs on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. Look how perfect all this is. So he died January 4th, the day leaving 361 days left in the year. The name that was given to him by by Ronald Reagan, which was not his birth name because he was adopted, but once he was adopted in the family, they changed his whole name to Michael Edward Reagan, 361, dead on the day leaving 361 days left in the year. From the day of the election to the death of Michael Reagan being announced on January 6th, which can be written 6/1 like 61, exactly 61 weeks. Michael Reagan, 61, Washington, D.C., 61. Remember the American Civil War began in 1861? We were calling that out way before January 6th happened because we knew it was simulated by the Jesuits at Georgetown with the Transition Integrity Project, everything that was going to go down January 6th. We said, look for the Civil War symbolism. Sure enough, the Confederate flag flew on January 6th. From the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa's birthday, to the death announcement of Michael Reagan at 80 was 55 days later. Satan equals 55 when you run the alphabetic order forwards, 80 when you run it in reverse. Dead at 80. Again, Reagan won in 80. And yes, he did run on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And with regards to syncing this up with the leader of the Jesuits, if you've never seen my work on the death of Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, it had everything to do with the Jesuits and the Pope. You could also say that from the leader of the Jesuits' birthday to the announcement of Michael Reagan's death was his 56th day of his age. It's either 55 days after his birthday, which is true, or his 56th day of his age, which is also true. Ronald Reagan, remember, he died on the 5th day of the 6th month, the 5th of June. Ronald Reagan, 56, like Church of Satan, like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. Again, numerous times in history, the GOP has inverted their stars. And I bet you at some point they change it again so it's not an inverted star. And I bet you again at some point they turn it back to an inverted star. They've done this numerous times throughout history. And the latest time they changed it back to the inverted 5-pointed star was in 2015, the same year that Donald Trump announced he was running for president, running on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And understand, both political parties are in on it because Barack Obama, Barack means lightning, Satan comes to earth in a bolt of lightning. Barack Obama told the joke with Trump there on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, April 30th, 2011, that Trump would become number 45. And again, that was 45 days before Trump's birthday, too. A little satanic joke going over everybody's head. And yeah, a downwards pointing 5-pointed star is known as a satanic symbol, the symbol of the Church of Satan. Now here, this is some major league coincidence theory if you think this is just a coincidence. From Ronald Reagan's death anniversary to his son's death anniversary, his adopted son, Michael Reagan, 214 days. Ronald Reagan equals 214, like Church of Satan. Can you see the triple overlap with Ronald Reagan and Church of Satan? And don't forget, people thought it was curious in history when him and his wife chose to move into a house that was at the address 666 St. Cloud Road. Of course, saints are Catholic. Again, the Jesuits are Catholic. Catholic Church, they were accused in the past by Martin Luther, the leader of the Protestant Reformation, of like purposefully duping people into participating in evil. And the reason that they wanted to dupe people into negative behavior is because then they'd have to come back to the church and pay indulgences, pay fines. And doesn't it kind of make sense with the way your government operates too? How they put certain things out there that you can do, but if you're not careful, you can get into major problems. You can owe all kinds of money in fines to the state. You can end up in a prison cell and become prison labor, slave labor, I should say. But anyway, look at the triple overlap with Ronald Reagan and Church of Satan. The 33rd governor of California. And yeah, again, just Church of Satan established in 66. Reagan wins in 80. 14 years later, now Michael Reagan's dead on 1-4, not to mention dead and end equal 14. The United States of America is 249 years old right now. Michael Reagan's dead 249 days after the Church of Satan's birthday. The news broke 251 days after the Church of Satan's birthday because it broke 2 days after he died. That's the 54th prime, like Jesuit Order 54. Remember, Mark of the Beast is 54 as well. Might have his dad living at 666 when Michael was a lot younger. And if you've never seen my work on Anton LaVey's death, the founder of the Church of Satan, died right before Halloween, died 201 days after his birthday, and also 201 days before the sitting Pope's birthday. Again, that's the hallmark of the Jesuits there, the old 201. They adopted a child born on the 77th day of the year. Think about that with all the 77 business in D.C. He was born John Charles Flower. Look at his birth name, 191. Remember all the 191 death stories on New Year's Day? Remember that? And the Operation Resolve, or what is it? Absolute Resolve, whatever they used to capture Maduro. It's a 191. Society of Jesus 191. How about the 322? The number for Skull and Bones. Reagan, who was his VP, the Skull and Bones member, George H.W. Bush. January 4th, the day his son dies, can be written 4-1, like Herbert Walker was number 41, and Skull and Bones equals 41, which is order 322. Skull and Bones is also known as the Brotherhood of Death, which equals 97, like death alone equals 97. This poor kid had the 97 in his name. Michael, I shouldn't say poor kid at this point, he's 80, but at once upon a time, he was a kid when he was adopted. He died 73 days before his own birthday, 46 years after 1980. Sacrificed 73 and 46. If you count the span of days, it was 74 days, like Michael Reagan is 74. Interestingly enough, Reagan announced he was running in 79, like Trump is 79 right now. Remember, Society of Jesus also equals 79. We just had the death of the GOP congressman 187 days after his birthday, and we already hit the 191 and 56 in this ritual. Notice when Reagan announced he was running, it was the day leaving 48 days left in the year. Illuminati equals 48, as does Hollywood, as does Freemason, as does Donald Trump. Both Reagan and Trump are Hollywood actors. And what's wild is, did I just write it down and not put a screenshot in here? Where did I put it at? Look at this. I want to go back in time, and I want you to see this, how long all this stuff's planned out. Donald Trump was 33 years old when Reagan announced he was running. And remember, Reagan was the 33rd governor. You see how Hollywood is 48 and 33? Donald Trump is 48, right? But you see how Michael Edward Reagan has this 152? Look at this. Look at this. From Trump's birthday, June 14th, not 2025, but let's go back to 1979, to the day that Reagan announced, November 13th, 1979. Look at that, 152 days later. And remember, this is a number connected to the presidency, too. It came up a lot with a lot of the rituals they did with Biden. Pennsylvania equals 152, for example. I believe it's presidential. That's all. The White House is on Pennsylvania Avenue, if you don't know. Pennsylvania. Whoops, got to spell it right. Pennsylvania 152. What is it? Presidential? No, I'm forgetting what it is. There's another 152 at the presidency, but it came up a lot with Joe Biden. Remember, the first President's Day fell on the 15th of February after Biden took office. All part of his script. the 46th day of the year for number 46, the second Catholic president elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when the other Catholic president was JFK, killed at 46, number 35. Anyway, the point is that Trump's now the president, and this is now the death, and realize Trump's going to turn 80 later this year. But once upon a time, it was 152 days after Trump's 33rd birthday that Michael's also 33, or that his dad, Ronald Reagan, the 33rd governor, Mr. Hollywood, was announcing he was running for president. And these guys have had all these rituals in history going back and forth, as we've documented over the years. Add another one to the list. And it is 152 days later. You could also say that he announced on the 153rd day of Trump's age. If you write out the Illuminati, it's 153. If you write out Jesuit order, it's 153. Remember, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, so they go hand in hand. But yeah, it's just, it's blatant. It's blatant how perfect these rituals are. And it is mind-blowing how well coordinated it is. But the thing is, we see this going on day after day. So it's obvious they're doing this. And isn't it crazy that the typical American Christian thinks that the Republican Party is the righteous Christian party? It's really amazing to me. It's really amazing to me that they could think that's the more Christian party. Which party is more about charity? Is it the Republicans or the Democrats? And again, I don't like either party. They're both horrible, but we all know the answer to that question. It's the Democrats. The Democrats are more about charity. Jesus said charity was an important part in life, helping others, helping those most in need, like welfare. Of course, there's people who cheat the system, don't get me wrong. What's the bigger warmonger party? And I hate when people say, it's a Democrat. No, it's not. Stop. Especially in recent times. Not even close. Not even close. It's the Republicans. They're both bad, but the Republicans are the more warmonger party. Jesus didn't say anything about abortion, for the record. I know a lot of you guys, you hang on to it because, well, they're the pro-life party. They're not really pro-life, though, are they? They only care about unborn fetuses for political reasons. Let's not get it twisted either. They didn't really care about the unborn fetuses either. But it's all politics. But no, this is not the more Christian party. Not even close. And Jesus didn't say anything about LGBTQ or trannies or any of that. He said to be non-judgmental and to be understanding and forgiving. So, no, the Republican Party, it is the lesser of the two parties when it comes to Jesus-like by a good margin. And no, neither party is Jesus-like. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying you got to see which one is further away from it. And it's clearly the Republicans, and they're the ones that are putting the more satanic symbolism in your face too. Yeah, but both parties are two wings of the same bird, playing this society as sheep for fools. And, nothing breeds sheep more than religion. And then the next runner-up is government. So, yeah. I don't know why so many people have so much trouble comprehending these things. I guess it's just because the truth is a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, here, we'll let a few more people get in here. We got Gematria32, then Punk Rock, then ZZ Top. What's up, Gematria32?
Yeah, MLK equals 9, and it's 9 days. Is a span of 9 days till his birthday.
His real birthday, January 15th.
And you see how we got the people marching. MLK loves a good march. Okay.
MLK gave his last speech in the Masonic Temple.
Oh yeah, that's right. And all this stuff, it's all military operation on 117, 107, like military, shooting on shooting 107. They said the woman was 37. Like shooting is 37 as well.
Oh, they put out an age for the victim, huh?
Yeah.
I was waiting for some information. So the victim killed on a Wednesday by an ICE agent on Portland Avenue is age 37.
That's what they reported, but they could change it at any moment. Say 38 or something, but they said 37. But we'll see.
Yeah, 37-year-old woman.
All right. Okay, like to go with shooting. Yeah. Yep, that's right. with that.
Goes with all of it. ICE agent shooting Portland Avenue.
Also, you know, like I
Here,
said,
let me see. You're one of the best gematria students. Why is Portland, Oregon, where they're having the ICE protests at? Do you remember the answer to that question?
Fuck me. They're having a protest on Portland Avenue.
No, you know how there's the ongoing ICE protests in Portland. It's been going on for like over a year. Just people camped out in front of the ICE facility.
Portland, Oregon. That's
I'll remind you that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, what ICE stands for, is 503. Like the Portland area code is the 503.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, you from Portland, so that's your hood, so you know what it is. Damn, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, Trump is seized the oil tanker over there by Greenland.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they had to bring the Greenland psyop into it by the Caesar location. Yeah, what a joke.
I think it was on his way to Russia or something. I don't know. But you know, that's another military operation on, you know, like 107, January 7th. So this is by the numbers. But I wanted to ask you, have you seen the movie that I seen it on Amazon? It's called Anniversary. It's on Prime. I seen it on Prime Video. It's called Anniversary, and I really think you should see it. I wish that book had the impact. Your book, you know, that book that they say in the movie had the kind of your book had the kind of impact that book had. Man, that would be amazing. But this movie, it takes place in Georgetown, also as well. So it's more interesting.
Anniversary is the name of the movie.
Yeah, it takes place in Georgetown, Georgetown University. The professor, she's a speaker there and a teacher. And
okay.
But this shit is crazy because the girl, she writes a book, and then it's about censorship, and then it's just about socialism, and you know all this stuff about socialism right now, and so it's like it's. I really want to know your take on it. If you get a chance to see it, please do, for real.
Yeah. By the way, I'm showing the footage right now of the supposed shooting. I meant to play it earlier. Have you seen the footage?
No, I don't even. I'm not. I passed that point. I'm way past that.
We don't need to see it at this point. We know what it is. It's all theater.
I'm way past that. That's for Kansas Owens and them. You heard? That's for them. That's for Tucker Carlson and them. You heard?
Yeah.
We already know what this is. But also the thing about this movie, the Anniversary movie, real quick, right? Because it was released on October 26, 2025. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's 117 days after July 4th.
I see.
And the United States of America equals 117.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? So it came out 117 days exactly after Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you want to count a span, I think it's a span of 149 days to the next July 4th, which, you know, America is 249.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, man, if you get a chance, I want to know your breakdown on this. For real.
I'll check it out. Anniversary. All right.
Anyway,
all right.
Thanks, Zach.
All right.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, punk rock?
Hey, Zach. Just another shooting story in the news, like always. I mean, it doesn't even surprise
On a
me.
Wednesday, and now a
On a
37-year-old
Wednesday.
victim. How many times can you teach the same lessons?
I don't even want to talk about it anymore, bro. It's crazy. Like, I'd rather talk
33rd
about the
Street?
Greenland thing.
33rd
34th Street.
33rd,
34th
between
Street.
33rd and 34th. That's exactly what he said. I got it right up here on the screen.
Murder
Between 33rd
34.
and 34th.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I wanted to call in about the Trump story about taking over Greenland. So the Greenland, like you said, its founding, it's on its upcoming 47th birthday, but its founding is on the Illuminati's birthday.
That's what I said yesterday, yeah.
And it's interesting because the Illuminati has all the symbolism over the dollar bill, And it is Greenland, kind of like Greenland, green, like the dollar bill. That's what I think of at least.
Yeah, like paper
But
money. Yeah.
yeah, but Greenland equals 80 and 44, and the founding is 44 days before Trump's upcoming 80th birthday.
Yeah, June 14th. That's got to be 44 days earlier. Yeah.
It is interesting because currency also equals 44, and Trump is the 44th person to be president.
Yeah, he is the 44th person to be president. That is correct. Grover Cleveland messed up the count.
But God, another thing that was interesting with that is, do you know what the capital city is of Greenland?
What is it?
It's spelled Nuuk. It's pronounced Nuke. So nuke, right? And I like nuke like a bomb. So I typed in nuke, the actual way of spelling the bomb, and it equals 51 and 15. Like its founding, Greenland's founding can be
Sure,
written
May 1st,
51.
5115. Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting because I remember what was it years ago with Trump's conflict with the North Korea president about the nuke.
Yeah, that's right.
So I thought that was pretty interesting with Greenland, and if Trump takes it over, maybe I mean, I don't know, maybe the United States can come up with some technology.
Well, puppet Trump doesn't take over anything. He's just
Well,
puppet
yeah,
Trump,
right. You know what I mean, though.
sure, but for people who don't, we got to be clear. These puppets don't do anything other than get out and deliver their lines.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to call on that information.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up, somebody just dropped out who was up next, but we got ZZ Top. After ZZ Top, we don't have anybody in the back. If you'd like to join.
Exactly.
ZZ Top, praise the Lord. Can you figure out how to, so I don't have to hear myself back when I talk to you?
I'm on a computer that doesn't have a mic, so probably that's what the issue is. If you give it a minute, it'll relag, and then I think it gets.
Not every time I talk.
All right.
Go ahead.
Give it a shot. Hey, man. Anyways, it's safe to say you function with a high degree of observational awareness. I mean, that's within the limits here. And I spoke with you about maybe 2 years ago when you still had the TFR, and we kind of went down the list of all about the number 12. Whether there were 12 eggs in a dozen or 12 hours on a clock. And then I came to the 12 tribes of Jacob, right? Well, apparently Jacob is Israel. Jacob means Israel. And obviously there's 12 sons, S-O-N-S or S-U-N-S, right? And again, if we look at the clock, we see that high noon is 12, like sun. The high noon is sun. My question to you is, obviously we send over a lot of money to Israel. Do these names have any correlation with the games they use to encode the scripts? Since this is such a pivotal place, not only in history, but in the world.
What is the question?
Well, it's pretty advanced. Again, if you start looking at, you have, the 12, the number 12, right? The 12 tribes in Jacob. And I told you that Jacob means Israel. It means Israel. And obviously we send a lot of money over there, and this is a hotbed for something very important. They wouldn't.
It means Israel. I brought it up in the stream. What's the question?
The question is that I'm asking you is that, since 12 is such an important number in a variety of different applications in our modern use, and it's on the clock there as high noon, right? The 12 sons, S-O-N-S, S-U-N-S. My question is, are they using these particular names, whether they order them an ABC alphabet? Are they using them to encode their different games? Why do we send over so much money to Israel? Why is that such a hotbed for a connection? And why, my other question is because I overlooked it when I had spoken to you on the TFR many, many years ago about 12 and how many uses there are there. Why is that? It's a hot number in NFL, a hot number in a variety of other reasons. I think you've talked about 201, their inverse 12, like Tom Brady. 102. It's a big thing, right?
I'll answer you up there. So I don't myself. just everything about it, that he's got his speaker blaring through. I mean, can't you just turn down the volume so I don't have to hear myself talking back? I don't think his question really makes any sense. Just like Julius, who's sharp in the chat, wrote, huh? Yeah, they encode the names for the rituals, but what, because his name's Jacob, is that why we're sending money to Israel? I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, it's just, if you want to have a conversation, you need to not have my voice screaming back into the speaker. It's a really simple fix. It's called turn down the volume. Yeah, it's just okay. Here, other things I want to talk about. I didn't realize that Trump justified his invasion of Venezuela using the Monroe Doctrine. And the Monroe Doctrine was pretty much about, the U.S. has to do what it has to do to outmaneuver the other European imperialist nations. And you hear a lot of people on the right saying that thing, right? Saying things like that. Well, if we didn't go in there and take Venezuela, another country might have gone in there and take Venezuela. It's like, I guess to be fair, you do need to acknowledge that has been the history of the world, just conquest. And that's why so many people do believe that the U.S. does the right thing by putting pretty much all of its resources into its military to be the nation with the biggest stick, just like you see up there in that image of the Monroe Doctrine. But anyway, about him bringing up the Monroe Doctrine, it turns 203 years old this year, right? This year in 2026, it'll turn 203. We went into Venezuela 203 days after Trump's birthday. That's also 29 weeks on the nose. Trump equals 29. And just like how yesterday the breaking news was that after Trump threatened Iran, if they hurt protesters, we'll be there next, locked and loaded. They had to give us 29 protesters were killed yesterday in Iran. But yeah, the Monroe Doctrine turning 203 years old this year, huh? Like I always say, everything they do is ritualism and tributes to history. And notice the anniversary of the Monroe Doctrine being introduced is December 2nd. From the anniversary to the invasion, 33 days. 33 days again. James Monroe was a Freemason. Again, who in D.C. isn't? It's the Masonic city. And also, if you go to the Wikipedia, and again, never let Wikipedia be your lead source, but it can be an introductory source, and then you can verify what they have. They have a huge section on the history of the Monroe Doctrine being used by the U.S. and Venezuela. So this goes back centuries. And let me see, is it right here? Again, we were debating moon cakes, aka the big tit bimbo. And again, the first time her and I were ever introduced, I told her to look out for this 56 number, and it was the very next day that Marshawn Nealon died. So that's where her and I's history begins, the day before Marshawn Nealon died, but he was the 56th pick of the draft. Remember, he's the Dallas Cowboy who scored on the anniversary, or I should say, scored on the Nealers' birthday, Colin Kaepernick. Marshawn Nealon did, only to die a few days later. Not to mention it was Kaepernick's 38th birthday, like death equals 38. But he died at 24 days after Jerry Jones's birthday. 56th pick of the draft. And I said, I wonder if she's out there paying attention. Just told her, watch out for this 56 number in high ritual. So anyway, we had the debate with her, 48 hours before the Maduro capture. And Trump had said days earlier that Maduro's days were numbered. So we knew it was coming. But, I told her, keep looking out. You're going to see this 56 number all the time. So now the new president of Venezuela is a 56-year-old after Absolute Resolve, the name of the operation. You can see the 56. There's some other curious numbers up there. And if you put the operation in front of it, Operation Absolute Resolve, it's 106. Maduro captured 106 days before the anniversary of becoming the president, which is on that important date of the Jesuits, April 19th, which is also the birthday of the current leader of Iran, who's about to get replaced by a 56-year-old. And just how I always talk about how the major news stories are always synced up with the world of sports. Right now, it's the 106th NFL season, and the only player from Venezuela in the NFL plays for the Patriots. And Patriots this year picked up the 106th home win for all teams this year. But the only Venezuelan player plays for the Patriots, and his birthday just happened to be the day before the Maduro capture. He's from Caracas. And then I started thinking more about Venezuela's history, and I was like, oh, yeah, Simon Bolivar. I used to really like learning about Simon Bolivar when I was a child. I'll tell you a story of something that happened to me once in a customs in a Houston airport with Simon Bolivar cigars. But first, I had to go back and look. I said, look at that. Simon Bolivar, the great warrior who fought off the Spanish in Latin America, he died at 47. And notice he died right after the Illuminati founder died. The Illuminati founder died November 18th, 1830. And then Bolivar died at 47, 29 days later. I'm just thinking about that because Trump equals 29 and 47. Trump's face is in the Illuminati card game. The point I was just making about Reagan. When Reagan announced he was running, how it was synced up with Trump's 33rd birthday. But yeah, Simon Bolivar, the great Latin fighter who died at 47. And yeah, anyhow, there's more to research here. It's just everything that's done to us, you guys. History repeats itself, partly because the people who control this world, the cabal, they make it repeat, and they love to pay tribute to history, and they do it around numbers. Again, part of the Illuminati's plan was to infiltrate Freemasonry. Freemasonry etches on the temple, all is numbers. So to think they wouldn't be doing number rituals, I don't know. It's just moronic, I guess. Seizing this Venezuelan oil tanker flagged for Russia outside of Greenland today. It's like, okay, I mean, just screams PSYOP. Notice from the official start of the war with Russia to today is 201 weeks and 6 days. The whole war with Russia and Ukraine's been all about 201. Biden and Putin met on Pearl Harbor Day, 201 days after the Jesuit Ignatian year began. The Donbass region thing happened. Donbass region 201, that's where the war began. There's been so many 201s with the Russia-Ukraine war. It's ridiculous. Remember, we just captured Maduro at 2:01 a.m. They had to tell us that at the press conference after they went live a little bit late after 11 a.m. But yeah, there's some other numbers here. It's just, yeah, them saying that they got this just outside Greenland today. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this news is for dum-dums. And yeah, just the fact that Greenland's going to turn 47 later this year and the Trump administration's really amped up on taking it. We're saying this place is rich with resources that are needed for the Green New Deal. And yeah, also just with the 106th NFL season yesterday, Harbaugh got fired on the 106th day of his age. We had him circled to lose that game versus the Steelers. Baltimore Ravens 174. Rodgers gets the 174th career win. Steelers 31. Lamar Jackson gets the 31st loss. Learn your gematria. So anyway, I want to get those headlines in here. I see we still don't have anybody in the back. Well, I got an hour for callers. I get a lot of people that send emails and stuff and say they want to talk to me, but how do I talk to you? And I'm thinking, God, do these people not watch my channel? Because every day I got these call-in shows. I'm not really that interested in talking to people in my free time anymore, you guys. I mean, I've done that for years, and honestly, most people call, just wasting my time. If you want to talk to me, call into a live stream, like right now while the links drops, and you can. And if you're too nervous to talk out in front of the people, work on it. Work on it. Public speaking is a great skill. Governor Tim Walz said he is preparing the National Guard for possible deployment. What, against ICE? Is that where we're going now? National Guard versus ICE? What a script. Nick Reiner's arraignment delayed. Okay. Pretty sure his dad's alive and well somewhere. Everyone should watch his dad's last clip on CNN when he said, he'll probably never see me again, laughing as they unfold the perfect ritual in Brentwood in tribute to OJ. Again, 613 days after OJ's death, like Nicole Brown's body was found on June 13th, 6/13. And that was right after the Brown shooting the night of the Heisman Awards, when the Heisman Trophy is named after a Brown alumni. Judge in trial of former Uvalde school police officer denies defense motion for mistrial. the Uvalde thing right now. The very Jesuit school shooting that followed the very Jesuit Buffalo top shooting by days. Okay. Let's see here. Well, once again, there's a big story with no proof anything happened. Let's see, Fox News has multiple angles of the shooting. Okay. Okay. You guys, I love the way the media cuts their videos always by the numbers. It really is mind-boggling that they do this. But do you see how the video is a minute 14? Let me show you something here. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 114, right? And then that's also 74 seconds. And just like, the number that's constantly coded on killing. So, all right. Let's see what they got here. Oh, first, we got to watch some ads. Thank God they're not too long. All right, so the woman is in the vehicle. She's waving her arm like, come through, come through. Okay, so she's being cooperative with some vehicles. Now she waits here. She waits for the guy to come to the window, backs up, pulls forward, and the shot's fired. Okay. I don't know. Looks like a total psyop to me. Just set up right between 33rd and 34th on Portland. I hate the way they get away with the coincidences. I mean, everybody right now should be going, wait, Portland, that's where they've been having the ICE protests all year. 33rd again? The hell's wrong with that number? Well, these videos are just absolutely proving it definitely happened to me. I mean, who could doubt it now? Thank God for these angles here. A minute 14 cut. So what do you mean to tell me, Zach, that they just crashed a vehicle like that for the PSYOP? Why not? Why not? Waste all kinds of money on things worse than that. What's up, Elohim?
Yo, Hubbard.
Yo,
all these motherfuckers have military connections, huh?
Who?
Mr. Beast.
Oh, he's got military connections?
You know he started working with the Rockefellers recently?
I didn't know that. I know that he got engaged to the author of the Mark Children, the Mark of the Beast.
Zach, he's working with the Rockefellers, Zach.
Okay.
You know his grandfather worked for Raytheon Tech?
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's military.
The biggest contractors for the military on earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, when you just really just sit back and just really do your research, it's just military just pops up. It's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like these military families, I don't know if they just gave up their kids for, I guess, they sacrificed something along the ways to give their kids some type of success in their profession. I mean, it just seems like that's what goes on in, the sports leagues, the musicians. Remember that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, Zach?
Yeah.
Remember his hit song?
I've never heard any of their music.
Okay, so type in Google, what is Tekashi 6ix9ine hit song, and see what Google will give you.
But just tell me, I'll take your word for it.
It's called Gummo.
Oh, I remember that now. Okay, I think I've old post on
from the movie.
Doesn't it equal 69?
Yeah, exactly. That's all
I covered that a long time ago.
I was just like, I mean, I put it up the other day. I was like, wow, look at this. I mean, this guy's career is also scripted. I think he was he signed under Elliot. You know Elliot, right?
What label?
He signed with Elliot Grange.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that family?
I've heard that name before.
The son of his father. Hold on, what's his father's first name?
Just so you
The
know,
son of Lucien Grange.
Enemy Chris, you're up next after Elohim's done here.
Yeah,
Okay.
the son of Lucien Grange.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all he's Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucien Grange, Jewish. Yeah, no, the reason I just mentioned it because he was just on an interview recently and he just talking about his upbringing. I'm just saying there like, is what he's telling us even true, or is it just the upbringing story that he's supposed to run with? You know, just because I mean, how scripted is that? His hit song, his hit song equals literally his rap name. But also, did you ever cover his when he got indicted?
I covered all that when it was the buzzing news.
And how all his co-defendants were all black and they all got indicted on April 2nd.
Yeah.
When I seen that, I was like, wow. I mean,
yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, Zach. I mean, just studying all of this stuff, you just start to put the pieces together how these billionaires started just funding the prison system and you know, having a rapper like Takashi 69 put a bunch of black men, which were gangsters, you know, in jail on April 2nd. I mean, what a ritual, you know?
Well,
yeah,
you look at a
man,
guy like Takashi 69 and you say, how's this guy even famous? How's this even possible?
Exactly. Rainbow hair, face tattoos to
Nobody earns it in this society. It's whoever gets elevated on the world stage. It's like this Nick Shirley kid. He doesn't deserve to be famous. He's like literally retarded. He has no knowledge of anything. He's just a dumb little kid, and he's being promoted as some great journalist. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, but Zach, this is a you know, when I was joining my frat in college, yeah. The first thing I asked when joining in, you know, the first thing I asked was, you know, is there going to be any type of homosexual behavior to join this frat? And you know, obviously they said no, and how it's not related to the movies and stuff, you know. But just looking at this world stage and how it is basically a big old frat, it just seems like, you know, these guys are just in a big fraternity, and I just don't see how it's hard for people to see. I mean, guys, they're literally in a fraternity. I mean, you have Obama literally chit chatting with fucking Trump at a Jim Carter Jim Carter funeral, like, you know, like they're buddy, but they're supposed to play this you know, these characters on the world stage, like they don't like each other, you know. So I don't know, like you always say, you know, two wings of the same birds, you know, they're all in the same fraternity, you know, and it's just so obvious, you know. But anyways, even with the homosexual ritual they have to do, I mean, that's just fraternity shit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, you take care, Mr. Hubbard. See you in class tomorrow.
All right, buddy. You have a good one, Elohim. Take care, man.
Yeah.
See you. All right. We got Enemy Chris, if I'm saying that right.
Hey, what's going on, Zach? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome, man. Man, I've just been wanting to say I follow your work. I've been following your work since the 2015 season. I used your knowledge to actually win like a playoff bracket at work. You know, I got it 100% because you were saying Denver was going to go to the Super Bowl. There's going to be this whole tribute or whatever. And like, I've been following you a long time, man. I just signed up for your $20 tier package. I want to support the work. But last year I was kind of hesitant to jump into the whole, sports betting thing. But this year I was like, you know what? I really want to dive into it. So, yeah, man, I just, honored to talk to you and the community and just kind of look forward to seeing what I can do as far as, the sports betting goes. Yeah, just following the knowledge in the community. I'm kind of lost on a little bit of it. Like I was looking for a notification or something when you were going to stream for the Patreon, but I'm not really seeing any of that.
You're not getting notifications?
No, I didn't get one. I don't know if you did anything today, but
I do it every day. We don't take a day off. We go every day. What tier are you on?
the
You said
$20
$20
tier.
tier? Yeah, you
Yeah.
should get notifications. Yeah, I go live in the morning, so I post the notes
Oh, live in the
as soon as
morning.
I can
Okay.
in the morning, and then I do the live stream. So if you're not getting notifications, I don't know if you're on the West Coast, but usually I'm
I'm
going live.
central. I'm in Texas.
So it's by your time. I'm probably no later than 1 p.m. your time. I'm usually live streaming, sometimes earlier if I can finish earlier. But yeah, we go. I'm on the West Coast, so it's usually no later than 11 a.m. out here that I start the live stream.
And that stream is specifically on Patreon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have Patreon and you log in, maybe you're not logged in. If you're logged in, you should have access to today's live stream and the notes.
Okay, yeah, I saw that, and I saw the January 5th act. That's the day I signed up. So I saw like the action NBA, NHL, whatever. But I was kind of like, okay, when's the next thing? But I didn't really see anything. But okay, I'll be looking out for that. Um, but yeah, like I said, man, I've been following the work a long time, trying to get my parents to open their eyes a little bit, but it's hard. And yeah, it's crazy. I was a huge fan of football, but seeing the knowledge, I can't even look at the games the same. It's just more like I'm looking for the numbers or I'm looking for the tributes. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's the National Fixed League. It's amazing everybody doesn't see it. So
Yeah, but yeah, man. You know, uh, if there's anyone, I would say I'm new to this whole sports betting thing. If there's anyone in the community that would like to reach out, I could leave my email somewhere. Um,
well, when
I,
you're in
I
the live stream, there's tons of people in there, and you can hook up with because a lot of people are communicating and working together. So yeah, you just gotta get into the live stream. We'll be doing another one tomorrow.
okay.
Do it every day. So
I'll be in that one, then I'll see you tomorrow then.
all right. Take care,
Cool.
man.
Have a good
See ya.
day.
I don't know what's with that. Some other people said they don't get notifications too. I don't know why that is. You should get a notification if you're signed up. But we got Elohim back. What's up, Elohim?
Another quick thing, Zach. Just because you have that Mr. Beast and Rockefeller on the screen, man, you think there's something with them just constantly just going to Africa and these kids and these
Of course. Yeah.
pedophilia rumors and just him teaming up with the Rockefellers and him constantly going to Africa. I mean, it's just, him naming Mr. Beast, it's just, I don't know, man. Did you look into the video game, what is it called? I think, hold on. Is it Detroit and Michigan? Hold on. What is it called? Zach, Zach, you need to look at this, man. They literally have these these AI robots, man. They're that game is set in 2038, and
What game is this?
hold on. Let me find the name of it. Zach. It's almost like they're literally just showing us at this when they're like, man, fuck it, let's just show them. Hold on, let me find the game. I think Detroit. It's called Detroit Becomes Humans.
Okay.
And it's about how these androids, AI robots, basically take over humanity, basically, and take everybody's jobs, and it basically shows you how the world is transitioning into a fully digital. I mean, Zach, I think you need to literally take take whenever you're feeding the baby or something, take a sit back and watch somebody play this game, and just the symbolism in this game is
Called
like
Detroit
I said,
something? Detroit something?
Detroit Becomes Humans.
That's a weird name. Okay.
Yeah, it is set in Detroit.
That's where RoboCop is. RoboCop set in Detroit. The man who dies that they turn into the robotic cop. Have you ever seen RoboCop?
Yeah, way back like when I was a kid. This game came out May 25th.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a significant date. But yeah, Detroit Becomes Humans. Zach, take a moment out of your day. Also, I want to share a video with the audience. It is a Jesuit sitting on his couch, basically mocking us. It's a quick video. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's just so crazy, man. Like, I think it's the tap water they're feeding these people, man. The tap water. You know, Zach, every morning, why is the Chick-fil-A line that long every morning, Zach?
I don't know. People do like that place. It's crazy.
Is it
It's
the
funny. They had
fries?
one at Arizona State when I was in college, and it was never busy. I don't know how they became. They weren't like that in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm saying that like every morning. Is it the sauce? Is it the fries? It might be the Polynesian sauce, because I ain't gonna lie, when I was eating that back in college, I don't know what they put in that Polynesian sauce, but I don't know what it is, man. But yeah, hold on, let me send you this video, man. I want to share it with the chat. It's similar to that quote that guy said the other day, how they are Jesuits and they know they run the world and they're just humble about it. Hold on,
Right.
I mean, just I mean, how is a video like that not viral? You know. Man, to all the haters in the chat, man. Look, you can hate Zach. Look, Zach. Look, you can hate Zach, but one thing you gotta respect about Zach, he's here every fucking day. Like, that's something you gotta respect about Zach. I mean, you can hate him, but bruh, he's here every day.
Well, I don't care about any of my haters because I know they're all fucking losers. I mean, every last one of my haters, without a shadow of a doubt, fucking loser. Point blank, period. What are you guys hating on? What are you guys hating on? The fact that I exposed the most evil shit ever and it makes you butthurt because you want to be part of it because you're a fucking loser? Please.
Did you
Glad I showed you how to take advantage of the rigged sports game and pad your pockets? Only if you're a fucking loser. What, you're mad because I exposed your favorite political party? That's because you're a fucking loser. What, you like watching the news and these liars in suits? You like that more because you're a fucking loser. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that whole Bible verse about how, you know, there's people on this earth with us and they look like us. I mean, that's probably one of the craziest verses. You know, obviously we can't prove it, you know. But hold on. Did you see the link I sent you in the chat?
I want to talk to my haters some more. You guys, if society wasn't a bunch of fucking losers, we'd be winning. The only reason I'm not winning over here with this knowledge is because there's so many fucking losers. I can't lead a pack of worthless fucking losers anywhere. Okay, let's be clear about that for all my haters out there. You guys fucking suck. Anyway, what is it again?
Yeah, I dropped the link in the chat. I don't know if you see it.
I see it. It's in the private chat.
But yeah, even if you're hating on Zach, I mean,
this is 5 hours long. Where are we going? The 5 hour long video?
I mean, hold on. Why is it 5 hours?
5 hours and 17 minutes.
Hold on, this might be the wrong link I sent you. Hold on. Even if you're hating on Zach, man, he's here every day. Like, if I had a hater outside my house, literally just outside my house hating every day, I would respect him at least, you know? Like, you know, he's outside my house every day, you know? Hold on, let me send you this right quick. Man, I can't seem to find it right now, but it's okay. When I get a chance, I'll I'll get that to you. But also check out that 5 hour video as well, though. Whenever you whatever that is a very important video, Zach. That video as well is very important. It is literally a known. Matter of fact, can you pull up the video and see the person in the video and tell me if you recognize him?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. But yeah, okay, no problem. But all right, I'm gonna let if I find the video, I'm gonna come back and drop it in for you, man.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's see. We got Jacob up next. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, so they just released the name of that woman who allegedly was shot today by ICE.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. So I mean, immediately when I heard the news, I mean, the fact that it's in Minneapolis kind of reminded me of George Floyd. It was immediately getting compared to George Floyd because it's a few blocks from where. And so her name, Renee Nicole Good, equals 146. The George Floyd thing.
What? Good.
Good. Yeah. Her name in the most simple, 146. George Floyd, that whole thing was on the 146th day of the year.
May 25th, 2020. Yeah, it was in a leap year.
Yep.
And 83, like murder. I mean, come on. Is she not black? Is she 259 like Black Lives Matter?
No, I didn't see confirmation, but I saw like an hour ago they were saying it was a 37-year-old white woman.
Yeah, like again.
But I mean, it's still I think connects because this seems like it could be 2026's George Floyd with it being in Minneapolis and all.
It's not going to get the same aftermath as George Floyd, but
no, definitely not. But I could see it sparking some big protests for sure.
It's 293 weeks since the George Floyd incident. That's the 62nd prime. Remember how big 62 was with the George Floyd killing? Minneapolis is 62. Sacrifice is 62. Floyd is 62. He's from Houston, Texas, 62. It was the Park Police, 62. So yeah, 293 weeks since George Floyd, the 62nd prime. Ritual.
Yeah, I mean, 56 was big with that one too, and they said that this lady was a poet. One of the news articles made sure to point that out. Poet is 56.
Yeah, these people are the poets. Okay.
They said that her mom, her name is Donna Granger, like Granger without the R. Told the news, identified, and her name equals 55 in the most period.
Okay.
Just like Minneapolis, 55.
Okay.
They're saying it was at 9:30 a.m. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 93. It's on the 93rd Meridian West. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Just like, they started locating Somalis there in 93 too.
Yeah. I'm interested for if they put out her birthday, when they'll put that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so perfect, man. Every single one of these stories, every one of these psyops, they have the narrative set up perfectly for both sides. Like the left has their talking points and the right has their talking points. There's never just a clear cut. Like in the video, there's she kind of went and hit the ICE agent, and that's what the right's saying, and then the left is able to say that.
Well, that's bullshit too, because she didn't. She's just driving by. They went up to her vehicle.
Right.
Yeah. And the whole thing's a psyop. I mean, it's so obvious. Portland Avenue between 33rd and 34th. I mean, get out of here.
And with George Floyd, you had the left has the video of the cop on his neck, and then the right has the autopsy report that said he had fentanyl in his system. So they all
fentanyl, 38, like 38th Street, like Minnesota, like Prince, like Chanhassen. It's a joke, man.
Yeah. But anybody out there who's falling for it, man, you gotta wake the fuck up and stop playing into the divide.
Yeah.
But, that's all I have for now. I'll call back in if I find anything else.
All right. Appreciate the heads up on the name. But yeah, there's that big fat 83 murdered by the police, right? Murdered by numbers by the police in 1983. Here we go again.
Yep. All right. You have a good one, man.
Yeah. Take care. All right. We got CM. What is up, CM? Hello? Well, he dropped out. Well, after CM, we don't have anybody else in the back. We got one super chat. Thank you again, Smeed20. The numbers don't lie. If you guys don't know murder by numbers by the police, remember, they also said again between 34th Street, right? So now we got two murder numbers here. Murder has the 34 and 83 connection. Renee Nicole Good. And just, I mean, you see the play on words, saying she's a poet. You're going to see people saying she was a good person. She was murdered for no reason. She just had to get to work or whatever they're going to say. Yeah, if you never read the lyrics to Murder by Numbers, again, from 1983, check it out. It's about how killing is the sport of the elected, and it is as simple to learn as ABC 1, 2, 3. So, all right. I got 40 minutes till I got to go, but if you guys don't want to call in, we can wrap it up early. Keep giving you guys a chance to call in and share information, but so far, just hearing from a lot of the same people over and over. Let's see what else is in the headlines real quick. This is the BBC's top story. Must be a slow news day in the world. They got to make sure the whole world knows about their PSYOP between 33rd and 34th. You know what I hate is how they always put all these coincidental details and nobody ever, they just talk over it like it's, you just think they'd be like a news anchor, be like, it's kind of weird, man, because they've been protesting out in front of the ICE facility, you know, in Portland all year, out of all the streets that it's going to happen in Minneapolis, Portland Avenue. And somebody else might be like, yeah, you know what? I mean, it reminds me after George Floyd, they had all the Black Lives Matter protests in Portland. And that's what I'm saying with this girl's name, too, because you see the 259 in her name. You know, you had the caller point out that George Floyd, he was killed on the 146th day. That, at least that's so the story goes, of 2020. May 25th in a leap year is the 146th day. But the 259 stands out because they did some rituals with Black Lives Matter in 259 with George Floyd. Maybe they'll end up showing a shot of her house, and she was one of the people that had the Black Lives Matter sign up in her yard. You saw all those people out here in the Pacific Northwest. Okay. Yeah, this is the top story everybody's got to know about. RFK Jr.'s inverted food pyramid confuses health experts. Hey, whatever RFK Jr. is doing, Americans should take notice. The man can still do pull-ups in his 70s. The average American can't even do pull-ups in their prime. Come on. All right. Eat real food. Don't eat snacks and foods with processed ingredients and sugar. Sounds like good advice. All right. Yeah. This is everybody's top story worldwide. Well, let's see if Al Jazeera is even covering this as the top story. They have it as number 2 on Al Jazeera. The only one breaking stride. They're still focused on Venezuela, which obviously is the much bigger story. But yeah, that's why it's the United States of amnesia, man. It's just every day they got a new thing they want you to be aware of that happened. Same numbers on all their rituals day after day, and somehow so few people catch on. It's really mind-blowing. What's up, Span Wave? Are you buying it between 33rd and 34th on Portland?
Oh man, that's such a joke. It's the same thing. I don't even remember the last 33, but I saw like 3 other 33 stories in the past 2 days, and it's like, how do people not catch on? Or was it 4? I think you might have seen some, and I probably didn't even watch the video. But I want you to look up this headline. Look up. This is by the New York Times. The Catholic priest who has Maduro's ear.
The Catholic priest who has Maduro's ear?
Yeah.
All right. We saw that his lawyer's a Jesuit from Georgetown.
This stuff I feel like every time that I come on here, like you're gonna get sick of me bringing on like irrefutable proof, like reading from the books how they're doing literally exactly what you've been saying that they're doing for 10 years.
It says a Jesuit, Father Numa Molina.
That was what I wanted. That was what I wanted you to find. And this is by the New York Times. The Rev Numa Molina, a Jesuit priest, has championed the poor for decades. Now he is a power broker and confidant of Venezuela's embattled president, Nicolas Maduro. The Venezuelan Jesuit is on a first-name basis with the country's president, Nicolas Maduro. He conducts private masses for Mr. Maduro's family and advises his son, like the mob, which they do that too, by the way, a ruling party maker on outreach to the Roman Catholic Church, Venezuela's dominant faith. So yeah, it's just such a joke. And also that that guy that you were talking about, Simon Bolivar, that guy's a 33rd degree Mason, and I'll share my screen. This is on the Freemasons official website. That he was a 33rd degree Mason. Okay, there we go.
Poor guy died at 47. That must have been a Masonic ritual too.
Yep.
I meant that when I was a child. I went to Mexico when I was in 3rd grade, and I just done all this research in school studying about Simon Bolivar. And at this shop, they had these cigars for sale with a box with Simon Bolivar in the box, and I wanted it. Simon Bolivar was like the top thing on my mind from school in those days.
Oh, yeah, I have a box of those. Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of different boxes with them. But when we came through customs in Houston, when we were flying back home, we had to stop in Houston. And as we went through customs, I started with this guy, a big, fat, sloppy guy. He was going through our stuff. And he looked at the cigar box, and he's like, "These are Cuban." And I didn't know they were Cuban. I just wanted it because of Simon Bolivar. And the guy just started to rip up the box and cut up the cigars in front of me. And he's like, "I could have you find them." And I was just like, I was really annoyed because, I just wanted the keepsake for the Simon Bolivar box. But God, anyway, I didn't know. They didn't teach us about Freemasonry in 3rd grade, but go figure.
Yeah, TSA is such a bullshit thing.
It wasn't TSA back then. There was no TSA because 9/11 had happened, but it's just customs.
Yeah, customs is the worst. But also this other thing, Nicki Minaj, she has like alter egos, and one of them is Roman Zelensky. She said that Roman is a crazy boy who lives inside her, says the things she doesn't want to say. He threatens to beat people up, and he's violent. Nicki also said in the documentary that she asks him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People have conjured him up, and he won't leave. And so like in her music video, she's doing these alter egos, which is like, I think it's just like sounds like a totally MK Ultra thing. And the other thing I wanted to share was this is another Freemason text. It's called the Kabbalah Unveiled. I think this is a pretty good book if you want to look into Kabbalah. So this is like kind of like a Freemasonic interpretation of it. So in the introduction, we start out already on page 2. We have gematria, and so they're talking about it. Where does it start talking about it? Here we go. And therefore, a knowledge of its leading principles is necessary and is divided into 3 parts: gematria and temera. Gematria is a metathesis of the Greek word. I don't know what that is. It is based on the relative numerical values of words. As I have before remarked, words of similar numerical values are considered to be explanatory of each other, and this theory is also extended to phrases. Thus, the letter shin shai is 300 and is equivalent to the number obtained by adding up the numerical values of the letters of the word RVCHALHIM. Rock 1 and Abada, love, each equals 13. For A equals 1, CH equals 8, D equals 4, total equals 13. And A equals 1, H equals 5, B equals 2, H equals 5, total 13. Again, the same of the angel, I think that's Metatron, yeah. And the name of the deity, Shaddai, each make up 314. And so is taken as symbolic of the other. The angel Metatron is said to have been the conductor of the children of Israel through the wilderness, of whom God said, "My name is in him." With regards to gematria phrases like Gen XLIX10, Iba Shilha, Shiloh shall come equals 358, which is a numeration of the word M Messiah. Thus, also the passage Gen Vihena Salisha and Lo 3 men equals in numerical value ALV Mikal Gabra. I can't read this shit, man.
Yeah, they're tough words. They're tough words. So
yeah. These are Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael for each phrase. I think in these instances will suffice to make clear the nature of gematria, especially as many others will be in the course of the ensuing work. For in the letter, first of every letter of a word is taken for the initial or abbreviation of another word, so that from the letters of a word a sentence may be formed. Thus, every letter is in the word Brashit, Bereshith. The first word in Genesis is made the initial of a word, and we obtain Brashit, Ra, Alhim, Shibal, Israel, Torah.
We don't need to read all this. Are we going somewhere with it? Can we just condense the point we're trying to make?
Yeah, I guess we could just end it. But I mean, this is in the Kabbalah. This is a Freemason text. They're talking about doing gematria.
And why you're reading is also why I haven't gone deep into Kabbalah, because I just like when I read it, it's the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what all this crap is. Again, I looked into they're doing number rituals. I learned that it came from Kabbalah. It's this gematria thing. I haven't needed to take it any deeper, honestly. Maybe if we did take it deeper, we could figure out more. But we've already figured out enough to see through this shit every day. That's the way I see it. There's always more, but I mean, we know what the 33 means to these people. We know why they do this. And why doesn't everybody else even want to know that much? And how don't they see it? How don't they see the 33, 33, 33, 33? It's maddening.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I had to share. But yeah, like I was saying, like there's so many of these texts talk about this, and it's like I feel like you're gonna get sick of me talking about it, because it's like I keep like I don't even have to dig that deep. It's like I look and I instantly find them talking about numbers or whatever.
You know that Zesty guy? He made a statement the other day saying the word alphabet doesn't come from the first two letters of Hebrew. Do you think he's right?
He doesn't know the Hebrew alphabet, alpha, beta.
The first two letters of the Hebrew alphabet is where the word alphabet comes from. I mean, how can you even try to deny that? And again, if that's the case, how many other parallels do you think there are to Hebrew and English if our alphabet's literally named after Hebrew?
Yeah, and they both have 26 letters.
Well, Hebrew has 22 letters, right?
Oh, right. But yeah, I mean, it's that's like common knowledge that our language is derived partially from Hebrew. I mean, that's and this like not that's I don't know how like it's funny how people like you say that your sister says that like Freemasonry is a conspiracy theory. It's like my first introductory to Masonry wasn't from a conspiracy video. It was from talking to like an actual Mason. I was 8 years old. And that was how I learned about it. I didn't know about I didn't learn about it online. So it's like for someone to say it's a conspiracy theory, it's like you can't even like look this up online. It's like they just want to like deny anything that's like even close to to being a conspiracy because they're so brainwashed to think that that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, why not keep digging deeper? Hey, you can all you want. It just, Kabbalah is really complex and confusing, and you probably do need a Jewish rabbi to really understand it. But it's easy to see that this number thing comes from it. And it's easy to see things like, again, I've read about Kabbalah and how it was spread around European royalty after the Crusades. So I understand all these things that they've been working with it.
Yeah.
That's my whole point of my research. The people who rule over you, they're into this stuff. And yeah, of course, they know more about it than we do, but we know enough to see through their little games. And any other common person, if they would learn it even half as much as we know, they'd not even half as much. If you learned a tenth as much as I know, you'd see through their games. So,
yeah, and I mean, every week that I come on here, I come up with more people that are admitting to using the knowledge, more people that are into Kabbalah, you know, the books themselves talking about doing this. So it's like you really can't, like, the people that say that this isn't true, they really don't have any leg to stand on, because there's the predictions and there's the patterns, and then on top of that, there's also the admission that this is happening by the people doing it, which means that you can't refute it because the people doing it are admitting that they're doing it. So it's like you really, I think that the knowledge is just completely undebunkable at this point. You know, you can't.
It has been for a long time.
Yeah, but like you can't, like, from any angle you're not going to win. It's irrefutable at this point.
But I just did a Google search and it said math professors don't use gematria.
Yeah, that's not even true. That's not even true.
Did you see that? Did you see that was that person's best argument? It was like, what?
Yeah, in computer code, I mean, in computer code, it breaks down each letter into a number.
I guarantee you the way Gematria's algorithm works, or do I just say the way Google's algorithm works uses Gematria. Last night, I watched my Ronald Reagan death video just drop 100 views and sit on 56 views for the rest of the night until I went to bed, like Ronald Reagan equals 56. His son's death video just all of a sudden just went way down to 56 views and just sat there for like an hour straight. And I thought, look at this shit. Ronald Reagan dead on 5-6, and now the video about his dead adopted son is just sitting on 56 views after they just took 100 views away.
Yeah. Did you see that scam with the oil tanker that they're saying it's a Russian tanker now?
Yeah, that's what they've been saying. Yeah.
Yeah. What a scam. I wanted to promote this this channel, Ben Jordan. I don't know if you've seen them, but their two recent videos have been really good. It's about like the AI system that they're putting into the surveillance grid, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, they're basically getting all the data that they've collected. They're basically putting into these AI chatbots, which, like, in the past 6 months have gotten like really, really good and have gotten like 100 times better than they were 2 years ago. Like, literally. I had my computer code a website for me. Like, I've like on my computer, it coded like multiple websites, and I like watched the code go by, and like that's what you can do now, and the website works, and it's like insane. But yeah, sorry, that's off topic. But I want to use that for the work, because you can have it do research on stuff. So like I can put all these Freemason texts into it, and it can read through all of it and find exactly what I'm looking for. So like if I wanted to talk about like I actually did it and it worked. If I wanted to talk about like numerology, I can plug it in to the AI and ask it to look for it, and it'll cite all of the parts in the book that talk about it. So that way, because like these books, like each one of these books is like this, and I literally have like 200 of these Freemason books, like in PDF form, and it's like they're all each book is like 500 pages, 1,000 pages. I can't read all that. Like I'd literally be reading that every day for 10 years to find to find anything that's what I'm looking for. This is just what I found manually going through the stuff that I've shown you. The stuff that the stuff with the AI, I'm probably gonna find all kinds of stuff now. You could just look up anything. You can look up blue gold. That's the other thing. You know that blue gold is 33. And the Nicolas Maduro, in the painting of him in the court, he's doing the this gesture, um, and he was doing it, and they're doing it with a blue gold background, totally Masonic. Blue gold equals 33, I think, in Chaldean. But yeah, that was all I had.
All right. Well, I appreciate all the research you're doing. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right. Take care, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right. We got a full of vibes. Full of vibes.
Hey,
Welcome back.
it's me again.
Yeah.
Hey, so you know how I'm fairly new with this. I would like for you to help me maybe look into this story. I'm in Chicago. I'm from the Chicago area. There's
Okay.
that, I don't know if you've heard about that CPS Chicago Public Schools lady that went missing. Her name is Linda Kathleen Brown. I guess I want to use this as an example to see how I can decipher and decode things. The reason why I go to this conclusion that I think this is kind of like suspicious is because the husband, he reminded all of us as like Chris Watts. He went on to the news and he kind of said like, I just want her home, like he was acting like her. So now I got interested and I'm like, well, maybe we can look into this, and like it could be an example for me to like kind of like know how to approach a certain situation.
Are you talking about how to decode a story?
Yes. Basically, I'm seeing if you. I don't know if you've heard about that story with that lady in Chicago that went missing. They gave out all her information. She, I'm looking at her story right now on my laptop, and she was last like I would like for you to pull it up that way you can see and see if
Linda
any.
Kathleen Brown.
Yes, missing Chicago public schools teacher. I think it's crazy how they gave out almost all of her a lot of her information.
Keep in mind, I don't think this is a national news story, so it could be a real story. Pretty much
Okay,
everything in the national news is a hoax.
okay,
But sometimes these local stories are legit. So I mean, it's possible this is a real story.
okay. The only reason why I think it's kind of like a little fishy is because of her husband. The interview her husband gave. I think maybe this hasn't gone national yet because it's too new, maybe.
Okay.
So he just went on the news not that long ago, and it says right here. Let's see. Oh, my laptop kind of doesn't let me go. Well, basically, she went missing. The guy went on the news giving his like I guess testimony or his saying like I want her back, and he kind of gave me the vibes of Chris Watts. You know that guy that
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
yeah. So I kind of think it's kind of like a similar kind of story. I'm not sure if you probably haven't heard of this yet.
that. No, it's the first I heard of it. So
Yeah.
I always start with the date, the location, the name.
Okay. The date was
January
January
3rd.
5th.
Well, it says nobody's heard from her for 2 days on January 5th, so she must have disappeared on January 3rd.
Okay.
I see that full name, Linda Kathleen Brown equals Bavarian Illuminati, which is founded with 13 families, kind of like 1-3 the day she disappeared. So that's interesting. And he did just have that ritual at Brown, the Ivy League school with the shooting. They're the Bears, and then the Browns played the Bears the next day. So he said this is out of Chicago. So Linda Brown. Yeah, I'll have to look at it more, but
Okay.
it's
I guess the stories that are near me are, I guess, since I'm a starter, a beginner, I'm trying to work with the stories that are near me. So then that way it intrigues me more to look into it.
Yeah. Sometimes though, they like to sync up the news with the sports. I do see that CPS teacher equals Chicago Bears, and like I said, they did just do that thing with the Brown Bears, and the Bears beating the Browns the next day.
Okay.
So
I think her husband looks a little suspicious, honestly. If you like have a chance to look at it, you see his interview with the reporter. He's not even like crying. He's just very calm. Like if
I
he's
see.
yeah, he seems like he knows where she is, so he's not like if somebody doesn't know where their wife is, obviously they're like crying. They're you can see the body language. He seems very chill, very relaxed. very Chris Watts kind of.
Sure, like a lot of times the news stories, the people they're interviewing, it just doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
okay,
So hopefully we get some. I'll come back as soon as I hear something, and then give you an update. But if you have a chance, or if you want to look into it, that'd be cool. But oh
all
yeah,
right.
and I'll be waiting for an update if you can for the D4VD whenever you have a chance. No pressure. Honestly, I know you have a lot going on too, and I just came out here because I know that there was a lot of people. I mean, there was not like people, and I'm like, okay, well, I would like to talk, but sometimes when I get on here, I forget and I go blank on what I want to ask.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll look
Okay.
more into it.
All right, sounds good. I'll let the next people, whoever, so everybody can get a chance if there's anybody next. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys. Well, what's up, Elohim?
Yo, Zach, I found a video. Can I share my screen?
Uh-huh.
Also, before I share this video, you know what I found out? You know that guy Will Smith?
Will Smith, the actor?
Yeah, man. You know that man is homosexual, Zach?
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
And Jay-Z as well. I heard his name in the industry is Gay Z. That's what they call him. So hold on, let me see if I can share my screen here. Don't show these tips again, all right? Hold on, let's make sure nothing crazy pops up over here. All right. You can see my screen?
Let me put it up. I see it. Okay.
All right, I'm about to play it. Let me know if you can hear it. This guy, man.
He's reading Aldous Huxley died the same day as JFK. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hear it though.
Hold on, he hasn't spoken yet. Hold on. Hold on.
I hear him laughing.
Okay. This guy, man.
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and a big industry. For many a year, we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need. Your sports
Elohim,
cars,
pause it though.
fashion,
Pause it.
plasma.
I don't want to get some copyright thing. They are always looking to take down my videos and also just getting demonetized. Like again, we got to feed the child over here, and the $2 super chat's not going to cut it. So
this is gonna get copyrighted? Oh, my bad. I didn't know this was gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me stop sharing. But yeah, that video, Zach. Yeah, that video, man. He. Oh wait, can I actually? I think I can actually pull up the cause it's a. Hold on, pull it right here. Man, I looked up this William Montague the third. Man, Zach, look at these lyrics, man. It's like I was reading the Murder by Numbers poem lyrics. Hold on, let me send you the link to this. You said that's from you said you was gonna get copyrighted?
You never know when YouTube's going to pull the copyright card. I mean, they're political with it. So,
all right, look at it. The link I just sent in the chat. See if you can pull that up.
Okay.
And you can just read the the poem that he was. I mean, it's sick, Zach. It's it's some sick stuff right here. I
Okay.
don't know if you wanna
Do you
share it
wanna
with the
read
audience.
it, or you want me to read it?
You know, your English is probably better. So
I don't think
you
there's nothing wrong with your English. All right.
you want me?
Hello, my name is Montague William III, and what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year, we have controlled your lives while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from the father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge while you peasants, people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives. Well, else you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice of selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done, but as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt, but the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. That's exactly how it is with these politicians that these people worship. It's what makes me sick about the dummies. It's like, you can't see that Trump doesn't give two shits about you, you fucking losers. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, then you'd take back the power, hence daily terrors to make you all cower. Isn't that how it is? The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game and we buy out both sides to keep you enslaved in your pitiful lives. So go out and work as your body clock fades, and when it's all over, a few years from the grave, you'll look back on all this land, and then you'll see that your life was nothing in a mere fantasy. There are very few things that we don't now control. To have lawyers and police force was always a goal, doing our bidding as you march on the street, but they never realize they're only just sheep. For real power resides in the hands of a few. You voted for parties, what more could you do? But what you don't know is they're one and the same. Old Gordon had passed good old David the reins, and you'll follow the leader who was put there by you, but your blood, it runs red while our blood runs blue. But you simply don't see it's all part of the game. That's a nod to the fact they don't fight or bleed, because all of our blood is blue inside of our bodies. But you simply don't see it's all part of the game. Another distraction like money and fame. Get ready for wars in the name of the free. Vaccinations for illness that will never be. The assault on your children's impressionable minds. In a microchipped world, you'll put up no fight. Information suppression will keep you in tow. Depopulation of peasants was always our goal, but eugenics was not what we hoped it would be. Oh, yes, it was us that funded Nazis. But as long as we own all the media too, what's really happening does not concern you. So just go on watching your plasma TV and the world will be run by the ones you can't see.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. I mean, just based on what you just read right there, Mr. Zachary K. Hubbard, just the average person should just.
Let me see when they put this together. Was this put together in the time of Cooties or before Cooties?
I think this was from the. I think you was actually going to get a strike.
I think it was because it was
put
2020 on YouTube 2 years ago, unless it was re-uploaded. But
no. The movie came out in 2020, actually, March of 2020.
Is this it right here? This one was put up 8 years ago. Every ad for me now is baby formula. I love it. Let's see here.
This is from a movie, Zach.
This is a different one?
Well, the movie that I'm seeing is called The Banker. That came out March 20th, 2020.
Okay.
it said it was it was set in 1960. So
Okay.
I guess that's like a clip from or maybe I'm wrong. Wait.
Yeah. The film quality looks like it might have been 15 or 20 years ago, but just the end part seems perfect for cooties. So anyway.
Yeah, cause every time I pull that up, it gives me this 2020 movie. But I mean, just that poem right there. I mean, basically revealed everything. I mean, it basically.
Well, don't you think somebody wrote it like us, who sees through the world and just put a little thing to it, like again, just like playing the part like they're one of them. I mean, we could write something like that over here.
Yeah, I mean, it exposed just. It says a lot, literally everything you've been preaching. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with the community, man. That was all, man. You guys take care.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Elohim. Sage Zero says we got a story. Aiden Sean Fucci stabbed a girl 114 times. Is this a recent story? So, okay, this is an older story, but yeah, again, just, going back through the headlines for the years. Yeah, most simple cipher, 114. Doesn't it all just seem too perfect? Just these stories day after day, and it just all lines up this way? Murder of Tristan Bailey. I wonder if we covered that and I forgot about it, but she died May 9th. Kill equals 59 in the Jewish cipher. She was born on 118, like death and homicide are 118 in the Jewish cipher. We were talking about this with the dead California congressman, dead 118 days after the state's birthday. Okay. Last call. If anybody wants to hop on, I got to get Sweet Girl in 10 minutes. And oops, I had the wrong thing up here. I didn't have it up on the screen while I was talking about it. Again, the kid's name is 114, just like he said, and we just found right here. Yeah, that was a story from a couple years back. Hey, look at what day the story was posted. On the 83rd day of the year, like Murder's 83. A murder story by the numbers. Man. It is amazing. What's up, Joe?
Can you hear me, Zach?
Loud and clear.
Hello?
Hello, I hear you.
Yeah, I just had a story I wanted to tell about meeting a Freemason at a protest.
Okay.
I brought this book here. It's called Fire in the Minds of Men, right? You might have heard Jordan Maxwell talk about this too. A battle protest, and I was saying to people there's almost a dozen people who are listening to me, and I was saying, I appreciate the sentiment in a way behind what's going on, but I feel it's controlled opposition. And in this book, it talks about how all socialist movements and communist movements were created by the Freemasons, right? Which is basically a criminal gang, and in the history of Captain William Morgan and how they kill people who divulge their secrets, and they're ruling from
for people who don't know that, he disappeared on September 11th, if I'm not mistaken. The leader of the anti-Masonic party.
And so I started telling this to people, and they were aghast. They were like, how did this person have the whatever to try and do this? Because, this was in 2020, right? So what happened then is some guy comes up, he has like a mask on, and he was like, what are you doing here? What are you talking about? I was like, I'm just saying how I believe Freemasonry might be having something to do with why this is all being, the city park was all shut down to support this thing. Like, why would the city be supporting this movement? Why, why would that happen? He's like, oh, Freemasons just a charitable organization, just charitable organization. He had like an aneurysm that I was so bold to do this. I said, well, who are you? And he's like, well, I'm a Freemason. I was like, oh, you're a Freemason, huh? Had all this Masonic stuff on, but he was like my age. And so then all these people, right, that I'm trying to convince that Freemasons are running this protest, they've been hearing me having all these questions saying it couldn't possibly be this crazy. Here comes this Freemason coming up in front of like a dozen people. Yeah, I'm a Freemason. I'm like, well, what are you doing here? He said, I'm running the whole thing. I'm in charge here. I said, well, you know, it's interesting because that's what I'm trying to convince these people of, and they would never believe that. And then I noticed he had this tattoo of a goat with like blood red eyes on his arms, completely tatted up, and had this sinister, completely evil demeanor about him. Like, it's unbelievable. And I said, why do you have this tattoo of a goat? You know, I know that is, you know, important in like Satanism, and that these Masonic cults are fronts for satanic cults and these Franklin cover-ups and the satanic shit. He's like, and he said, it's just a goat, man. It's just a goat, you know, just like taunting me. And what I noticed, man, is these people that we're surrounded by, they are criminals, man. These people in our communities, they just believe whatever they want. They don't care about the truth. They care about whatever they can get away with today. And that is the extent of who people are in our society, man. And these people, they saw that. And I said to these people, like, look, guys, you see how I was saying, like, that this is what's controlling this shit? And here's some guy coming up and trying to kick me out and showing us that he's a Freemason. And you should have seen these people, man. They're just pathetic. And these people, it was just unbelievable. But
society is unbelievable, and I've been saying the same thing since I was 18, that this society, whatever word you want to put on it, they're not good people. They're satanic, they're evil, they go along with evil, they're no opposition to evil. If somebody shouts out and calls out the evil, they get mad at the person calling it out. No, the society's bad. And you look at how many people right now are just like so on board with us going into Venezuela. You got to be a bad person to not see what's wrong with going in and blowing up another nation and taking out their leader. It doesn't matter how bad their leader is. You guys, why aren't we going into Burma right now and helping them out? Why aren't we going to help Burma? They got the longest going civil war. Their military's terrorizing their people. We're not going over there because we don't need jade. They got a lot of jade over there. We don't need jade, but we need oil and the shit that's under Venezuela. That's why we're over there.
People have no sense of propriety. They don't, like Mark Passio talks about it. He says, like, people have no like sense of, you know, like following logic, like boom, boom, like this follows logically. And in my life now, I've been having injuries because of health issues, because of this whole agenda and trying to come back as a musician. I've been playing with literally some of the most famous musicians in the world and working almost every night of the week as a musician, making up to $500 a night playing at very, you know, serious professional gigs like the Opera House of Kansas City. And I'm trying to come back and get, and people are holding me, you know, people don't want that. People don't want to see what is good. People don't want to see good. They just believe whatever they want to believe. That's what I'm saying. There's no integrity. People woken me up to like, there's a reason why this is going on. And people just have no sense of what is right. You know, we don't care about what is right. We want what we want. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem.
It is. Yeah, no, I do know what you're saying.
And but it's like, you know, and I've tried to explain this to people, what's going on, and they can't hear it from me. And when I was teaching all the time, I would have to tell people, like, just come out to the gig and you'll hear me playing jazz at a high level and you'll understand why I'm asking you to do these difficult things. But people, they just see you as an inferior, and people do everything they can to fix up in their mind that you're an inferior and you can't. And then you're doing, and they take it all for granted. Like,
so here's something people might be thinking right now. I get it. I think we're similar people. They're listening. They're going, man, this guy's playing music and making $500 a night.
They take it all for granted.
Well, I bet people are like, man, I wish I could be that. I would love to play music and make $500.
And they hate you for it.
But I can tell you're still not content with the way the world is, and that's because your life's not about money and just doing what makes you happy. You're mad that the world is the way it is. Right?
How could you not be? Yeah, because other people don't have opportunities and they're pissed off, but then their hatred of, you know, people anyway. But yeah, it's like people take it all for granted, or like I've done things. People don't have a correct worldview. People don't have a correct worldview where it's like, you know, they think that music is Katy Perry, and if you're not as famous as Katy Perry, you should feel so ashamed of yourself.
Right.
Like what? Like, okay, well, I'm going to play with people who played with like the most famous jazz musicians in the world that you've all heard of, and I know people who play with them. They're teaching me what they learned from those guys, and now I'm going to be the guy that knows better than everyone else, possibly, And that's why people are coming to me to learn to play music. And
well,
they take it all for
that
granted.
is how people gauge the world too. Well, you're not famous, so what do you matter?
Anyway.
You're not on TV. Exactly. Your YouTube channel has a bunch of views, so it must be wrong.
No.
Look, this one over here is saying everything that I heard on Fox News has 1 million, so they must be right. This is what's wrong with society.
So it's good to tune into your stream, Zach, and be reminded that there are other people who see this. Because like I've been talking to people about like, let me set up my amp, play for 30 minutes on a Saturday brunch. It'll be like nothing. You know, I won't ask to do it all the time if no one likes it. We can't have that. Oh my God, you know, and people are like this, and they're totally antithetical to what they claim they're supposed to be about. And it's like, if you're playing, you know, with people who play with Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, like Bobby Watson and people like that I've been playing with, for them to then say that you're such a problematic person, or you're a this or you're a that, and find all this fault with you because you don't fit inside of their narrow-minded worldview, it's like a hell. It's like a ridiculous situation. They're always trying to say he's a communist, he's a Republican, or he's a Nazi. You know, they're always trying to say that you're something that you're not, that you shouldn't be. And then it's like, well, I have a Facebook profile where in my profile photo, and I'm in front of a big concert hall with one of the most famous musicians in the world. So I don't know what that tells you about me, but people can't fucking get that. They literally can't understand that because they think they know things, they think they understand, but people don't really understand, you know, like what's going on and a lot of things, and we just take everything for granted. Like I talked to this Freemason, told everyone the freaking protest is run by the Freemasons. Here comes the Freemason running the fucking thing, and all these people, they just took it all for granted, as if that doesn't lend any credibility to me. Can you think of anything more ridiculous than that? Well, yeah, I mean,
you know, Freemasonry doesn't necessarily carry a negative opinion with everybody, so that might not be enough evidence for them to condemn the person. But again, people should look into the history of Freemasonry and political manipulation. Things like William Morgan, who just vanished into the thin of the night for leading this anti-Masonry party centuries ago. So, yeah. Well, and it's obvious who's playing the games with us. I mean, they venerate 33. They got to put 33 on every divisive story they give us day after day, and somehow people are none the wiser.
I saw a guy named Sam Williamson. His YouTube channel is S Williamism. And he posted about all these telecommunication buildings in London. He's a British guy. They're all at the address of 33. Every last one of them.
I saw that video.
And it's just like, you know, I mean, there's no question about that lends credibility. But anyway, I mean, like I said, you know, these people that we're surrounded by, like, and I have this book here, like, right, that talks about, and it's a free PDF, and I've been posting about this on, actually, you know what, on 7/11, right, like September 11th, I posted on Facebook basically for the first time, and my Facebook friends are like musicians who've been working with like the most famous musicians in the world. And I was saying, hey, you know, our government is run by cults, like the Brotherhood of Death, and they have all these agendas, and they're doing all this illegal shit. And all this bad shit is going to happen. Wake up. You know, basically, when I was being hired to make $300 a night at the Majestic, and those gigs have dried up now because I'm trying to, you know, this was in 2020 when I started, you know, preaching about this. A month later, exactly a month later on Tisha B'Av, and it's like everything I was saying just kind of came to fruition coincidentally when Jeffrey Epstein died. And I had people around me that were like, Joe, how did you know like that this was going to happen? And I basically told them about your work and about, you know, like Gematria and that there is definitely this sort of ritualistic shit going on, like you said, you know, September 11th, and you know, but again, people take it all for granted, like they're crazy, like they're just incompetent, like they're mentally incompetent. Like, but what I'm saying is this: it's like they are criminals. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not doing what is right. They're doing what they can get away with. And in my life now, like I said, as a musician, it's blowing my mind how it can be so difficult to get people to accept that what you're doing is legitimate because they just don't want that. And they can just believe whatever they want to believe. They can just believe whatever they want to believe. They don't have to think in terms of logic or, like propriety. Like if you're working every night of the week as a musician, are you any better than anyone else? Well, of course not, because we don't want that. And we want to look at you as an inferior. Like, people are just Nazis. Like, it's psychotic, But
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I'm trying to follow your stuff more here. And what you've been posting about is just mind blowing. When you had that, something about Soleimani and Maduro lining up on the same day or something.
And Noriega.
Noriega.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just can't believe that people take this shit for granted, but that's what they do, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how else that I can explain it, because, you can't live people's lives for them, but they're just so pathetic. They just take everything for granted, as you can see.
Right. Yeah, indeed they do.
But I see you have an amp in the background and you're working on some guitar playing or something.
What's funny is when I first started this work, I had a nice electric Gibson and I was learning to play it, and they got stolen, but they didn't take the amp. The amp was too heavy for them. So I've never replaced the electric guitar. I've been too busy with this work, but
sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, it was a disaster when the house got robbed, but yeah, I still got the amp. It's still a nice amp. So, and funny enough, the other story about that amp is I actually bought it for somebody else. He didn't have the money for it at the time, and then he ended up deciding he didn't want it. And I was like, "Come on, man! I bought this for you, so you're going to pay me back." Now I'm hanging on to it. Okay. Anyway, still a good amp though. All right, yeah, I gotta let one more person get in here, and then I gotta go get my daughter. But hey, good talking to you, Joe. Glad you're out there. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
All right, take care, man. Joe reminds me we need to reconnect with Jeff Young. We haven't talked to Jeff for a minute. Brock, you're the last voice, and then I got to go. What's up? What's up, Brock?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me fine?
It's a little bit quiet.
All right. Just for the last guy, I was just going to say, like, he was saying, he got my thoughts going a little bit in a different place. So I'll make it quick. But he was talking about how, like, people, all the time will hate him for his music because it's so good. But it just sounds like he's just, that's just how powerful the brain is. Like, it's like he's attracted some of that, if you're thinking all the time people are going to love me for my work, you're a little bit more likely to find that. So I think that's probably the problem he's running into. But, like the stuff that just going on today and happens every day, like I try and get people to see it and they don't want to see it. So, what can I do about that? But the thing that I wanted to ask you,
well, for example, what was the thing you were trying to get them to see today?
Just, like how, just like the 17 number, just everything, how it had, like, just the stuff you make videos about, like the 44s, I planted the seeds a while ago and tell people, oh, shooting.
You could just say, don't you think it's weird it happened in on Portland Avenue in light of the ongoing ICE facility protests in Portland? And then they might remember, because it was a national news story, how Portland had the biggest protest for George Floyd that went all those days. So,
right. Like, there's so many routes that I could take it. I try and take everyone, but it's like they don't really want to see it, so I don't think they really put too much thought into it. But
yeah,
the other thing what really got me going down this road was about the financial markets, because I was trying to figure out what was really going on. And my senior year of high school, I had a really good teacher, and he basically, he taught us how things work on the surface level, but then he got into how it's really all about manipulation. And then, the more I follow this work, I'm like, oh, this is how the manipulation works. And maybe this is how I could use it, But I was just wondering if, other than, I heard you say the marijuana stock thing, how Trump, the 88 thing, how it's looking like he might make it federally legal. I was wondering if, or I was just hoping you would talk a little bit more about like the stuff that's going on with like crypto and, that stuff. Because I think, obviously, things change. Like back in the day, the money used to sit where you guys could decode the sports. And I think the money's moving elsewhere where people in this community can actually start banking. And I think it might be in crypto or something like that, Yeah,
I mean, the more knowledge you have, the more things you're paying attention to and understand, the more places you can bank. So from sports to the market to crypto.
Because I've been doing the sports stuff, and it seems like they're kind of changing things a little bit. You know, like they're catching up, or they're moving differently.
Or he's going to be
than they used
selective.
to.
It's like yesterday wasn't the best day in hockey, but I also said in the stream, I said Kraken should win, and I said I like the Maple Leafs too. Both those games had good value, and they were both winners. You got to be smart about your picks. So
Yeah. I mean, I've found a lot of success in it, but it's just like it just feels like a chore to me doing that stuff. You know, like.
Well, it's a chore doing anything. Anything you want results in, you're going to have to put work in. So.
That's true. But yeah, I appreciate you. I've been working on the sports stuff. It makes sense, you know, like when I stay conservative, I stay smart, keep it. I don't get greedy. I'll make my wins. But it seems like you were saying how they're, you know, they're on to us a little bit, or they know that a lot of people are catching on.
Well, they've definitely made things more challenging. They double code the bejesus out of these NFL games now. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering if you had any thoughts about like the financial markets, because I think that the whole crypto thing is going to get interesting. I mean, I try and apply like the whole gematria knowledge and everything, but I'm still learning, and I think it's primed up because, like, you know, I pay attention to other indicators, like, you know, the crypto market interest goes down, nobody's paying attention. That's usually about the time that it recovers, and you know, like they're just always trying to throw people off and scare people out, and you know, just mess up their expectations, and just they do whatever they can to shake people out of the market. Like what I noticed, like the whales in crypto, they're so lazy. It's almost like I expected them just to like take the easy way out and just make this big tariff news instead of like going the real way about it, like all of us do, and just invest. They just mess up the market, and then all right, here's my time to go. But it right when you catch on to the way they do it, it's pretty easy. But
yeah, you just got to catch the patterns.
Yeah.
I got to go get my daughter right now, but I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
All right, see you. All right, yeah, I'm running a few minutes late. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to the people who helped us raise the $4. We got Smeed 2 with the numbers don't lie, and Sage 0 with an interesting observation from a news story in the not too distant past. So, yeah, I don't. It boggles my mind how they get away with doing what they do. How they just put the same numbers on everything, and I don't know. Somehow nobody blinks the eye. I think part of it is people are just too busy with work and life and being entertained and keeping up with their sports team or their favorite Netflix show or whatever it is. The details, like when you're watching the press conference and they say 33 again, a lot of people aren't seeing that, so they didn't hear it themselves. They're not trying to expose it like we are on a daily basis. Those of us who are observant, we saw it so many times. It's just like me. I kept seeing the same numbers. I said, what is it about the same numbers? I got to learn more about why they do number rituals. Got to ask the right questions to find the right answers. But then once you do that, if other people don't have the same questions or cares or concerns, they don't want to hear about what you've learned. But then again, they'll just march along to the programmers because they've been programmed by the programmers. They'll just march along and do what the authorities tell them to do. It's safer that way in their mind until they got myocarditis or they're not here anymore. But anyway, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Thanks again, and until next time.